even if there's a small team. But yeah, true. I go by the name of Testimony. I'd like to welcome you all to another installment of Immortal. We back at the Wells Theater. You know, got our teaching artists with us. You know, got our production team with us already. Got some of the staff from Virginia Stage Company from the theater making it happen. Yeah, man, it's beautiful. So pretty much if you huh? Online family, I thought I said yeah. Y'all, everyone that is seen and unseen. Well, yeah, so if you missed our experience yesterday, we've jumped onto our performance. So we've been writing, we've been like having a lot of discussion, had chances to talk to community figures that are represented in the past, in the present. You feel me? And it's like, all right, this is wonderful, but now it's time to really polish up some of the performance. So that's what we've been doing for the past couple of hours. If you know, just talking about today and yesterday, but yeah. So we're gonna continue today. So those online, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get your stuff ready. This is your moment to get your poems out, to get your raps ready, get your freestyles ready, all of those things. And since it's just us here, I just want to go over really quickly like the rubric that we're using and some of the stuff that we're going to be looking for when we're critiquing your performance. So I'm going to go sit down and I'll pass it to Diana.
Good afternoon. I'm Diana, and I'm one of the teaching artists here alongside Testimony slash Dre slash Richard slash Mishana. And I'm about to break down this rubric for y'all really, really quick. The biggest thing and the first thing that's on this rubric list is physical presence. Like, how are you when you come to the mic? You know, are you felt? You know, are you seen? And like, I know a lot of you are probably like, well, duh, we see you. But I just mean like when you come to the stage, is your presence felt? Is your mood felt? Is your aura? That's a big thing. When you get to the stage and you step to the mic, people really want to feel you. They want to sense that this person is present and in the moment for whatever they're about to talk to us about. And that literally will unveil and uncover whether or not someone decides how they're going to listen to your piece. Because a lot of times when you walk up to the mic and you're unsure and you're doing weird stuff, people have already made up their opinion about you in their mind. But when you come up to the mic, you get yourself seated or grounded, I guess is a better word, planted, then it gives people that opportunity to say, okay, well, I know that this person is about to give me something great. Next is your voice and articulation. So I used to struggle with this really, really bad, and sometimes I still do, with just speaking too fast and certain letters and words just rolling together. So if you're someone who gets nervous or has nervous habits, just try to just remember that like your piece is your own timing, your own pace, unless you're slamming, but we're not slamming right now. We're literally just doing performance. But just try to make sure that you're saying all of the words because we don't want to miss your bars. Dramatic appropriateness. Oftentimes, I think we see shows or we see certain things and we think, okay, like a poem has to be like this big, grand thing, which in some cases people do perform their poetry really, really, really expressively. But there's also appropriateness into how much you need to use when it comes to movements and stuff like that. Because if I'm talking about something and I'm doing all of this and I'm itching and I'm scratching, you're paying attention to everything but what? My poem, my piece, my words, my space, my voice, my reverence. So with that being said, it's just very, very important that everything you do is intentional. Evidence of understanding. Let's not do poems that we don't know things about, like the topics. If we're going to spit a poem, let's spit a poem about things that we've either researched about or experienced, because people can tell. There could be somebody in the audience who has an A++++++, and a subject that you're failing at, and you get on stage and you spit a poem and you say the wrong things. Not only does it make you look a little silly, but it also just questions your validity. I think that's the right word, your integrity, and that's the right word. I felt the nods. It just tests that a little bit, because then people are kind of wondering, well, like, can I trust this person's word? I mean, do they even know what they're talking about? Do they research? Are these lies? You know, it just frames a really, really bad thing, and it can be hurtful, because if you get up there and you speak about a topic and you say the wrong things that are not true or things that you did not fully research, you can really hurt somebody in the audience. It can be triggering. and overall performance. So really with overall performance, it's all of these things that I just stated tied together. What do you do when you come to the stage? Do you leave us with everything or do you leave us with nothing? And I'll say that is kind of like a play on words a little bit, because I feel like a lot of us as poets, we get to these stages and we lay out these grand poems and we leave everything there and then we don't have anything to walk away with. I say that you want to give the audience about 90%. Give yourself 10% to walk off and recuperate, because sometimes we give, to me, in my opinion, too much to the poem, too much to the pieces, that we forget to give a little bit to ourselves in the moment. And that just means with the more emotionally heavy pieces. But this is our rubric. We're excited to hear any poems that you guys have, and even us as artists, as teaching artists, and as older people in the poetry, we still have things that we have to work on, things that we're getting better at, things we're growing. And this has been a consistent growing process for me. So yeah, that's the rubric. And now I think I'm about to bring up Miss Shauna to the mic, or Andre to the mic, or we're gonna read some poems, or we're gonna bring her to the mic.
Hey guys. Okay. I'm Miss Shauna. I'm sorry, I have to touch this. It's a little hot for me today. Shauna Chanel, one of your lead teaching artists. I'm going to be checking us in today. Thank you, Deanna. You did a great job. I'm going to be checking us in on one of your favorite quotes and or favorite writers. One of my favorite quotes, my name is Shauna, like I said, checking in. And one of my favorite quotes would have to be broken crayon, still color. Yeah, I like that one. And I'm going to pass it to Andre.
All right, what's going on, Andre? Testimony again. This is a quote. It was on a sticker that I saw. Yeah, it's a quote. It's okay not to be okay. That's one of my go-tos. Yes. Checking in.
Being human in public, checking in.
Where So for our online family, is there anybody that has a quote? I was like, am I supposed to look now? Oh, you got one? Oh snap! All the way from the production team. Oh yeah.
What it do? It's Nikki. And one of my favorite quotes is "Stay true in the dark and humble in the spotlight." Checking it.
Stay true in the dark and humble in the spotlight. Amen. It is. True. I'll say, yo, if you find a stick, if you find that on a sticker, yo, let me get that. But do we have anybody online that they coming?
My favorite quote would have to be, "Not everyone is born a hero, but everyone is born to be a hero." Checking in. Oh, did everyone hear me the first time? Or do I need to say it again? Should I go again? Okay, I'm gonna just go again. My name is Jalen, and my favorite quote would have to be, "Not everyone is born a hero, but everyone is born to be a hero."
Testimony and the rest of the crew, we would greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Um, do we have anybody else online, or we want to keep it moving? Keep it moving. All right. So, this part is especially for the ones that are online. As you can see, we do this all the time. So this is back to you. We're going to give you guys. I want you to find one of your pieces that you may have been working on, or one of your favorite pieces. If this is your first time like with us, but you have something written already, we're pretty much going to take a couple of minutes. I want you to go over in your head, and you're at home, so you can probably actually practice and not be on the screen. So practice your piece for about 5 minutes. Remember some of the things that Dayana was saying that we were looking for in your performance. So before we start our 5 minutes, like if you can just repeat those things for us. I'm gonna go play some music, and yeah, and then we're gonna come back, hear y'all performances. Y'all might hear some performances from us, and yeah, and that'll be it. But can you repeat the stuff for us, and we'll get started.
Yep. So just a real quick recap on the rubric for you guys that are getting your poems together. Really, like I said, the biggest thing is overall performance. What do you bring to the stage? And then what do you take away for yourself? I think that's like the best way to put that. What do you bring to the stage and what do you take away for yourself when it comes to your performance and what you're giving and offering to the mic, and then what you're taking and offering back to yourself? Articulation. Are you speaking clearly? Can we hear everything that you're saying? Are you emphasizing certain words? I know for me, I have a little bit of a speech impediment, so sometimes I have to slow down and just give myself time to catch up, because sometimes I get to the mic and I go really, 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 really fast like that, and then people miss 6 or 5 lines, and it could be the best lines of the piece. Also, stage presence. Can we feel you? Can we sense you? Sometimes you might get to the stage and you might be extremely heavy, and that's okay. Give whatever you can over to the audience so that they can feel you and go on that experience with you, because that's the beautiful thing about poetry, is that in a poetic way we can take people on our journeys, whether they're hard, whether they're happy, whether they're heavy, whether they're whatever. We can take people on those journeys with us. And then dramatic appropriateness. Again, you don't have to get on the mic and stomp, step, and clap and do the splits. And if you want to, you can, because again, this is a free space and we're not judging anyone. But what I'm saying is, when you're spitting a piece, we really want to focus on what it is that you're saying, and less on the things that's going on around you, unless they add to the piece. But if anything that doesn't add, it subtracts. And so that's really just a really quick recap. I think my good brother over here is ready to play you guys some tunes, and so we're going to go ahead and move on to that.
We got more for you. All right, word. But all right, we will yeah, we'll take like let's take like one more minute or so. Um, get your last run through in, and yeah, then we're gonna start the performances. Cool, cool. No sense. All right, I'm done. Thanks, y'all. Oh, life. It's wonderful. All right. So, y'all have had a couple of minutes to get your freestyles ready. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm super excited to hear the performances. Do we have I guess one of us gotta start it? Do I gotta start it? Awesome. So we're gonna call Shauna up to the stage. She gonna get the mic nice and warmed up for y'all. That is not dude, that's almost true. Y'all give it up for Shauna.
All right. So this is a new piece, and it's called Full. Just a little disclaimer to the poem. I'm a foodie. I really like food a lot, but I wanted to write something that gives me that same feeling. Like, what places do I go? Who are the people I'm around that makes me feel full? So that's why I wrote this poem. Full. Not from bread, but better. These vibes, this place, that energy, those sounds, his voice, that smile. These butterflies, my heart, that reach, his smell. This crease, our laughter, my breath, his gifts. Those possibilities, my love, that joy, this verse, our song, that memory, my pleasure, his beard. This day, this day, this day, my God, repeat. Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna. I think it's important that we do have people in our lives that make us feel full, that put as much back into us as we give out. You feel me? Appreciate you. All right, production team, it's on you. Kind of, sort of. You're like the middle person to put our second performer on the screen.
Okay.
You're ready.
Okay. 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 So this poem is entitled An Artist's Nightmare. Black, white, colors of the like my people, my story is told in color. But which color? I can be anything. I can paint myself every color of the rainbow, but I still wouldn't be good enough for you. Would you hate me if I were purple, oozing extravagance, royalty, independence like Sealy? If I were blue, would I be crucified? Are you threatened by my stability like an Alabama sky? Would you despise me if I were green? So down to earth, grounded. My soil is rich like my story. You hear my every breath deep like the seas. Would I face hostility if I were yellow? Bright like a faded flashlight in a dark tunnel. Am I everything you want me to be? Now, would I become abomination if I were orange? The glow on my skin is like a crackling fire that can't be put out. I am a confusing shade of success. You may feel sweet attraction. Now, if I were red, how would I be perceived? Another mad Black woman angry at the world? Yes, sure. A speck of dark excellence in a world of false positivity and rekindling of Black nativity, trying to repair our broken hearts like mechanics' hands permanently stained Black. There's also a sense of familiarity you feel when you see me. The image of my wet face as I shuffle past in shackles is branded into your brain. The sticky, blistering mountains on my back give you chills. The salty tears falling from my frightened eyes bring you guilt. You may have witnessed me hanging from the poplar trees. Ah, yes, that southern breeze. Eyes trying to escape the sockets, mouth twisted like a pretzel salted with my own tears. Yet I still managed to raise my right fist and look Mr. Oppression and Ms. Oppression right in the eye as we all mix and the rainbow slowly fades to gray. I remain defiant until my last breath. I hang my head and die. Thank you.
So that was a great piece. I thoroughly enjoyed it. First I'll start off by just saying I liked how you connected the color wheel to like the definitions but still made it poetic. I feel like sometimes you know how like we try to do certain things like quirky things and it just comes off like not the way we want it to. I feel like you did a really great job of pitching those colors in there and still alluding to the issue at hand, which is skin, you know, the idea that our complexions make us unequal to other people because of their issues with our complexion. So I thought that was amazing. And the color choices that you used, I thought were amazing too. Like you're starting it off with that idea of purple, and then you said royalty. And I know that wasn't really a word play, but it actually turned into one a little bit because when you said that, I thought about royal blue, and I was just thinking about the idea that like brown and Black people just suffer from being called those names or being called those certain words as disrespect, you know, to the fact that we are dark, you know, we are Black. The only critique that I would really have for you in that piece, honestly and wholeheartedly, is I don't know if it's just because of the view we have, but I seen you do a lot of rocking back and forth. And at certain times, I was digging your piece, but I was getting lost in this because you were rocking back and forth so much. And I saw you wanting to do hand movements, but you would never commit. Like I saw your fist come up at one point, and then I think you felt it and you committed to it, but I could just tell that sometimes you would retract. If you're gonna go for something, just go for it. Because at the end of the day, like we're so into your piece. Your piece is great. It's this dope piece. We're not thinking about whether or not if this fist was intentional. We're like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna go there, just take it there 100%. I also think that you can get a little bit freer with your words. You kind of have like a rhythm that you have when you spit poetry, but you did a really great job. It was towards it was actually in the beginning of the piece where you were maybe the middle actually, where you switched your tone up completely, and I loved it because it kept me engaged. Versus when the poet spits and they just spit like this the whole entire time, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like I heard this, like da, da, da. I like that, but there were certain points in the piece where I think you could have done that more. You could have switched it up more. You have a lot of like highs in your piece where you're spitting these dope bars. You can take us there and then you can bring us back down really, really slowly on a different bar so that we can still feel it, still hit it. But again, overall, I think the piece was great. I always love looking forward to hearing your work and just everything that you're doing. And it was an amazing job.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We have another poet This poll is actually going to be audio only. So I think it's Samara. It's Samara, right? All right, cool. So yeah, let's give it up for Samara.
My poem is named Broken Country. Who can interpret justice from an oppressor that doesn't know the difference between equality and racism when he continues to use the derogatory word to disown colored people? We treat each other like no one has the same thing going on in life. We treat the way of life as something being taken for granted and not taken care of, as people take for granted the things that are given as a set of achievements when we continue to use hate to overpower love. Not respecting colored people, even if the country as a whole is a family as one, but it's treated us as monsters that's been locked up in cells contemplating what our skin color defines to us. We can't let history define our future as history led us to hate when we should be loving each other because the future defines what the outcome would be for our generation, not the past. The past is the history, the future is the mystery that doesn't need to be solved until we come together. Falsely accusing the ones that were innocent and the guilty one never appearing in court, let us decide the indicted crimes taken upon an innocent person and the guilty person that was set free. You think you know the feeling that was felt in my heart when you don't live in my shoes or the color God created. If justice is stated in the preamble, why isn't the word put into action when justice is continually brought up and nothing's happening? I can't express the feelings that I'm feeling right now, but you don't understand because understanding takes critical thinking for you to understand how I feel, but ignorance is getting in the way. You think you know, but you don't know. You use statistics and textbooks to get your answer when all you have to do is use your mind and vision to understand how feelings are brought upon a colored person being continually hated for the history that was taking place in the past. As we hit the mark of the 20s, we think it's going to be something different from what happened in 2010 in the 19th century. When the 20s came, things got worse and shook upon the earth that was not ready for impact, and the hate started beating down my chest and I felt a heart attack, unable to breathe. Trust was taken for granted from a man that shut down our voices and kept them closed, locking up the truth to save himself but hurting the one that needed the truth to save their families and lives, as this person locks up the truth up and pushes it down a well gone forever. Unknown to everyone, the truth is found. We seek lies from someone that doesn't know a thing about honesty. A system so corrupted, you let a man get away with anything when the country cried for help when no one was there to wipe the tears off a country that was broken for 40 years. A man couldn't stay true to his words as his words were written lies on the document of our minds as we were slowly in a trance that thought his truth was true, but his truth was lies that were sent to him by the evil person in his head that didn't know. Words that are written on documents you would think people would follow but decline because they think that their tactics are the right way for their future, for their fortune, when they are people out there unfortunate that needs justice and safety. They say let freedom ring, but I would not feel freedom until I no longer hear the derogatory word towards colored people that continue to feel hated because of the history of the pale white man's ancestors that controlled our lives in the past, but no longer can when the future rises and conquers over them to stop the violence and hatred.
Can we clap it up one more time for Samira? Was that Samira? Thank you so much. Yay. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your piece. I like how you spoke about the future in the past, and I got the gist of the poem. It was on equality. For me, the poem did move kind of fast, and I wish you would have broken it up a little bit. Your tone was beautiful, but I needed to hear some more reflections within your voice. At the beginning, I got the part where you talked about how colored people haven't been recognized for who we really are and how we are seen as, I guess, less than. There's one specific part where you said we can't let the past define us, which is beautiful. And you started talking about the future and what the future holds. I wanted to hear more when it came to that. I felt like your piece was a little bit all over the place. I know you had a center, which was equality at the gist of it. But I just felt like it should be more compound. And I feel like you can do that by cutting off places that you don't need, pieces of it that you don't need. Like when Diana was talking about the words that make them count, and the words that you don't need, take them out. There's a quote that says, I take my poem into a gutter or something like that, or alley, and each word that I don't need, I leave them there. So I guess felt like that would be like a good place for you to stand within your poem, like rewrite your poem and see what you need and see what you don't need, and get a clear gist of the overall poem for you. Also, I would have loved to see your face, because I heard in your voice that you were passionate about what you were saying, but because you were moving so fast, I would have loved to see your face and seen, like, to engage with you a little more, if that makes sense. Your speed, like I said, I mentioned your speed. What else? I think that's about it. Thank you for what you gave us. I really appreciate it. I love the topic. Like I said, I love the past versus the future. And I love what you gave us when it comes to talking about everything that happened in past tense and what's going on right now. I just wish you would scale down just a little bit so we can get a better understanding of it. But it was a great poem. Thank you so much.
Thank you indeed. Yes. Oh, money's gone. Okay. We're gonna keep it pushing. We have another poet coming to the stage screen. So let's give it up for Aria. Woo.
Hello. This is my first time reading this, so was I born to die? That is a question many young Black people, or at least I, am asking. Was I meant to be the next Emmett Till, the new George Floyd? Am I supposed to succeed Breonna Taylor? I'm going to be the fuel to a movement. Am I going to be the fuel to a movement? The tragedy meant to open people's eyes. Will that be my family on TV mourning my cruel death? Or will that even be worth the airtime? Was I born to die?
Can we make some more noise for that poet? Just want to say before I start critiquing, just thank you for sharing and opening yourself up to that vulnerability, because it is hard to get up here and share a poem, whether it's in person or on live. I think that piece has a lot of potential, but I don't think the piece is quite finished. And what I mean is, I think that, well, she's not right there. I think that you can expound more on, that idea of being born to die. You're Black and you have that experience. And so what exactly is that? That's a loaded question. And I think that there are more options that you can explore on how you want to answer that. And I also want to just challenge you further on, let's name some other Black people who share the same experiences as Emmett Till and the rest of Breonna Taylor and the rest of the rest of the people that you named. And the reason why I say that is because I think sometimes so many people who are victims of a lot of these casualties are forgotten and lost because their story didn't make the headlines. And so when we're naming some of these people, I feel like sometimes we forget about the other people. And although that all these people are reflections of each other, I just think that there's more people that we can give reverence to. And that doesn't mean that you have to take the people out that you have. I just think that let's just challenge, you to research and maybe learn about some more people, or flip your piece completely. And what I mean by that is, like I said, the question you asked is, was I born to die? That's a loaded question. And that's loaded because Black people die from so many different things, from so many different avenues of systemic oppression. And so I just want you to explore that some more before we really get into the critiquing the performance of the piece. I think that piece still needs to get workshopped a little bit more writing wise, because you have more to say. Thank you.
Yes. Let's give our poets one more hand, please. Like Shauna was talking about in one of her poems before, these poems, now they got me full. I feel great. I feel really good. But we can't have y'all do your thing and we not do our thing. So now we're gonna have a round of performances from us. I guess I will start. I should probably think about what I'm gonna do before. Yeah. It's like that. You know that would be a good idea. I got one. Yeah. All right. Will my garden grow? I'm praying for rain. Sun don't shine no more. No light in window pane. Color of the grass deeper than it might seem. My way of life feeling like I'm chasing pipe dreams. I'm tilling soil, praying for rain, so I might feed my empty stomach, looking at a feast on flat screen. Not as many likes flashing on my IG, but I'm distracted by all the pictures on my feed. The only moments frozen, steady like it's Tai Chi, lips meet the earth, laying with the source, not aware of what I'm worth, and I'm feeling half empty. Brandy in the glass, tears on the map, trying to find a way to make it grow. Ain't no looking back. Hansel with the craft. What is in this water? Let me know. Showers even laced. Yo, I can taste it. Dreams digging at my conscience. Shots I had to chase it. And if I can't heal myself, then I'm not the savior, right? But well, I've been on this journey for a while. Heavy as this stream of thoughts connected to the vibe I'm feeling now. Skin drying out from the drought. Walking far beyond the broken families. We always tweet about what waist deep in my self-doubt. Knowing that I'm chosen, but the action can be hard to carry out. I wait for a flower child, but I gotta find the seed that Mother Nature always talked about. And I wonder, will my garden grow? I'm praying for rain. Sun don't shine no more. No light in window pane. Will my garden grow? I'm praying for rain. Sun don't shine no more. No light in window pane. Thank you.
I'm gonna do something that I wrote in one of the workshops for Immortal. It's not done, but y'all can get these couple of bars. Imagine this. Drawn lines, division. The walls are bleeding and the blood is yours. You don't belong here, but you don't belong anywhere. And even those that look like you can't offer any reassurance because y'all are in the same matrix. You keep your eyes low, chin up, maintain your pride, eyes low so you can't get caught looking. Imagine this. Heaven. I'm looking on the other side, hoping that there is some light, because I can't escape the darkness surrounding. See, picket fence and ghetto lines, tide water, black folk dying. I've never seen a black gentrifier, but I have seen a black nomad, house jumping, hood claiming, because we found shelter here. Even in the trenches, they wonder why the block parties mean so much, why the black boy rep his hood, stacking his territory like finger tut, like why he goes so hard for a home that turned his book bag into target practice, and his walk home into a war zone he didn't enlist for. But ain't our ancestors' trauma built into us like chips? See, we programmed to endure pain like it's bragging rights. He know, she know that this home-ish ain't just about the name. It's about having a place to claim, to call ours, even though the police still try and F with us. At least the white folk know they can't come here and snatch like they do pop culture. A hood ain't just about clout. And somehow, even though the good still do die here, it's something about this home that feels safer than the outside, a sense of belonging. Inside, you know the system, you know the characters, you know it's running from bullets, drugs, and gangs. Outside, you run from bullets, drugs, gangs, but they're disguised as politicians, doctors, preachers, and allies. What's left of the people after the wreckage of their home when all the reconstruction ceases? Hey, heaven, I'm looking on the other side. The walls are bleeding, and the blood belongs to me. Thank you.
Um, I guess we cool. Or I was about to say, Michelle, you about to do? She was she was giving me eye contact. And I thought that was like I got a poem, and I was like, oh word, but nah, it's okay. Oh, you were connecting? That's all right. We're gonna connect you to another workshop in a second. Next time. Well, I guess it's about that time for us to check out. Before I do so, just want to get some thank yous out once again. First, thank you to the online viewership, the poets, the people that just watched, anybody that contributed some kind of comment, energy, shared. Thank you for being in the space with us, even though you're not physically with us. We feel you. Teaching artists, Shauna, Diana, Dre, you know, thank yeah. I'm dead. Thank oh, thanks. No, but it's always fun doing what we do, and y'all help me grow every day as well as and all the young people that are watching. Production team, y'all making it happen. It's been reduced to a you right now, so go you, um, go y'all. Ryan, I see you back there. Thank you, Virginia Stage Company. Thank y'all for having us. And we are going to check out. We're gonna check out on one word going into the weekend because it definitely is upon us. So I'm gonna say my name is Andre. My one word is Friday. Checking out.
My name is Dayana. And I think okay, all right, there we go. My name is Dayana, and my one word is freedom. No, actually, no. I that's not my one word. My one word is I'm gonna say it all in one breath, so it counts as one word. Dreams come true.
What we checking out on? Any one word? All right. Oh, okay. So my name is Shauna Chanel. Lately I've been feeling really spring-like, so my one word would be color. Color. Yeah. Checking out. Love y'all.
All right, we're gonna catch y'all next time. It's been real. Much peace to you. What about? Oh yeah. Yeah, what's y'all one word before we peace out? I wasn't about to leave without talking to y'all.
My name is Jalen, and I would say my one word would be rest. Checking out.
Hello, my name is Aria, and I guess my one word would be peace.
Hi, Nishai. I guess my one word would be, I don't know, beach. Like I want to go to the beach today, so yeah.
We're going once. Was Jalen the last one that went first? Oh, that was Aria that said the beach. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm about to say if you didn't get to check out online this time, we're gonna get you next time for sure. But in the meantime, in between time, it's been real. Like I said, y'all have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time. Much peace to you.